Guys, welcome back to Vince Talk. My Roland Carlos. I appreciate again your support. In today's episode, we're going to start off with some bad news. Bad news. Cater Cole is out for the season. He's been put on IR. He has a tear in his ACL. So Cater Cole is out for the season. He's been put on IR. We're going to now start with Mike McDaniel's press conference. Then I'm going to show you a clip of the Estridge making a nice catch. Some players high-fiving each other. And then I'm going to show you the orange jersey of the day. But let's start with Mike McDaniel's press conference. And like I told you, Cater Cole is on IR and out for the entire season. So it's been a rough day 6 and day 7. Ashton is going to be a couple weeks out. They don't know how long, but he's going to be out. He should be back. They just don't know how long.
Sense of whether for both Cater and for Ashton Davis, if you think absences will be a question of days, weeks, or months.
So Ashton was, the non-contact is you're always prepared for the worst. However, we were fortunate that it wasn't the worst. That being said, it will take the next couple days to see how long that will be, but it'll be for sure. It wasn't the thing that keeps you out for the whole season. Okay. Cater, as I said, Monday, we needed a couple days for swelling to go down to kind of get a better evaluation. Unfortunately, he'll be going on IR, so he'll be out for the season.
Okay, what's the injury? Can you tell us what the injury is?
Knee. Yeah.
With depth at the nickel spot, obviously Cornell Armstrong's been working there, and you just added Mike Hilton. Do you feel comfortable where you are at that position, and how many guys can actually go inside of the nickel?
I feel comfortable for today. So we have multiple variances of players that we're working through that, and then so you have a starting point, and you see how the progression goes. Right now, I'm good with where we're at. If there was a situation in a week where I didn't feel that we're good, Chris and I would talk and we'd get something done there. But we feel good with where our plan is, and the various people we're giving opportunities to in a very competitive defensive backfield.
You speak to just what you feel for Cater as a person who's earned his way into the NFL.
So this was, Cater and I go back, and I've seen him come into the league with nothing promised and earn his spot within this team. And then this year in particular, I saw him ascend to a different level, trying to take the reins of his career and get his game to an even higher level. So for that and the timing of it, it was I was crushed until I talked to Cater, and honestly, Cater made me feel a little bit better about where he was at simply by his mindset. You don't know the whys all the time when things happen, and I get concerned for guys that get stuck in that world of fixation of the opportunity lost. Cater's mindset triggered like that, where he was like, yeah, this is tough, but I guarantee I'm going to come back better. That is the only way to approach really the game of football and life. And quite honestly, I think it's one thing that, talking to the team and talking to Cater, you you're risking a ton of errors if you try to pretend to know what you try to pretend to attach a negative or a positive to something that happens that catches you by surprise. Down the road, Cater may look at this as the best thing that ever happened. So he's focused on trying to create that scenario one day at a time with his teammate support.
Mike, what is the injury to Ashton Davis? Can you tell us?
It was below his hip, above his feet. Somewhere in there. Right? That's pretty good, right? I was pretty proud of that one.
Must be the leg.
This is not a hobby for you, is it?
James Daniels mentioned that he was going to have another exam and find out more about where he stands in his recovery.
Oh, yeah. I did catch wind. So here's the confusion. So in James Daniels' mind, cleared means no restrictions. In his mind, when he was saying, okay, I'm meeting with the doctor because this is part of the predetermined process as we ramped him up. All right, so then we have had no setbacks. Everything's been good. So then you get cross-checked for full clearance. He has been fully involved and had some outstanding team reps yesterday. But this is part of the checking the boxes along the way of getting to full participation. But he has been, as you guys have seen, he has been productive and doing some very good things in teamwork already. So it's another part of the process to get him more and more reps and without any setbacks.
How would you evaluate your first day of padded practice? Like, what would
so the first day of padded practice is super odd for me because you're going out to practice and you're like, I'm not looking for good. I'm looking for the inevitable. Like, it's like, all right, you're. What if you were a sports car and you're driving without, or a NASCAR without some of those drag resistant things that they have, and then all of a sudden you put a drag resistance on it. You have pads on, so invariably everything is going to be incrementally more difficult simply by science and moving mass. So you go to first day of pads, and in my mind, I'm never expecting it to be anything close to my final vision of pads. You've worked yourself up to a standard of practice up until the point that you really like. Pads come on, guys are going to be a hair more tired, jogging a little slower back to the huddle. The pads are going to be high. Invariably, it's the first time since January. So the first day of pads is a necessary evil. For us, it was kind of close to my expectation. Today I'm expecting practice that moves closer to a non-padded practice. And I'm expecting the guys that we've pointed out where their pad level wasn't high enough or they weren't playing behind their pads to improve that today. Bottom line is, first day of pads, the meeting after practice and the stuff that you show players is like as detailed as with the position coaches and with the groups as they are ever, because you are expecting it not to be exactly what you look like, what you want it to look like, and then expecting improvement as it comes the next day. So it was solid. What does that mean? Kind of close to my expectations. but not where our team wants it to be, and that, in itself is, this team a win for this team. Our expectations and standards are higher. So, this day of practice, I'd suggest you have your eyes open, guys. It'll be fun.
We saw him with the orange jersey, but do you have any stories about how Chop has shown you his desire to be great as of late?
Yeah, I think the best example of Chop's expectations for himself are kind of his. You can tell he's not that excited for a win, or he's not that excited for creating pressure. You can tell, different than his rookie year, his expectation is to win. So when he wins, he is probably the fastest player back to the huddle out of anybody that makes a play on our team. Like, he's just going straight to the next play. And then when he doesn't win, he's not MFing himself. It's almost like he's learning from it from a confident perspective. So just by and large, he is approaching each and every day with the mindset of someone that is trying to be great, because those are pretty crazy expectations. But he's his football understanding. He's paying homage to Austin and Pat when he gets blocked because of their good technique. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, this dude is confident. So he every day he shows up, which is why he probably did get the loudest cheer out of all players when I announced the orange jersey in the afternoon team meeting.
Mike, regarding Quinn Ewers, is he? Do you have a quarterback depth chart behind Tua, and is he number 3 or is Zach Wilson number 2? Is there an order there?
Yeah, no. Zach is doing a great job. Zach is the backup quarterback, and it's up to players to adjust that. There's no such thing as non-competition, and I think Quinn's the type of person that is every day trying to make that a real competition. Right now, it's not like that in my mind, but I'm very candid about being open to anything that the players tell me with actions, not words. So, but he's doing a great job, and the biggest thing is you have to continue to stack days as the quarterback. We put the foundation. We put about 80-90% of the types of the plays that we run during the season in through a 8-9 day progression of training camp, meaning you get install after install after install that you have to keep all that information and then you add. So the way that quarterbacks play through the install as you get into we're into 7, 8, 9, it gets closer to what you have to manage as a quarterback in terms of all the different knowledge of concepts and progressions and ball handling and all that stuff. It gets closer to what we ask of a quarterback in the regular season. So I think those things, I really like the quarterback room where they're at, and the competition can become real if the players make it. But right now, I really like where they're at and growing in their game, because all the quarterback room might be, out of all the position groups, it's one of the top ones. I did forget that Tua's orange jersey was about as loud as Chop's. And I think the team is pretty pumped about the quarterback play, so we need that to continue today.
Is there an update on the status of Darren?
No, do it at the same time. I'll do them both at the same time.
I'll go first this time. I ask you questions and Joe does.
Last question. No, just kidding.
Is there an update? Is there an update on the status of Darren Waller and any correlation whatsoever with the team hosting Noah Fant on a free agent visit?
So no, Darren's been great. I'll keep the anticipation for the audience. Like every day might be the day. You never know. Maybe next week. Who knows? But no, Noah Fant was somebody that I think we had a little mutual interest that we brought him in on a visit and allowed him to measure up what he's got going on and seeing if it's a fit for our team. But we also had Jalen has been out for a couple days, so just considering reps or the reps for the group. But no, it wasn't directly related to Darren. It was a chance for a football player that we feel is pretty good to see if it's a fit for us, and we'll see in the next couple days if we go that direction or not, but not in a reflection of Darren.
Do you anticipate a corner being added?
I don't anticipate it not happening, but in the immediate future, like when I say I am looking at the group right now, critically and focused on them, and so it's not on the docket, but YOLO.
What do you need your starting corners or the corners who take a lot of in-game snaps to do?
I need them within our scheme to own the techniques and fundamentals, so that in every defense there's like every defensive call. Okay, there's a strength and a weakness. Okay, and so within that call, you need to, whether you have the hard job or the easy job, you have to execute with dependability and consistency so the rest of the unit can play off of that. So when you have outside leverage man, you have to own your outside leverage, not get beat outside. Why do you have outside leverage? Because you have inside help. If we are playing a cloud, we need real reroute so you keep the speed from going down the field. If we have, it's specifically with our defense, which has probably equal to the amount of our offense in terms of the illusion of complexity and the variance and versatility. You need guys that are super consistent with what we're asking players to do, so that you know how to rely upon them, what calls they feel strong with, and the safeties can play in concert with them, the backers can play in concert with them. It's a consistency thing a consistency and dependability thing within our defense, because our strength is how our strength is how we rush the passer, our strength is how we play together, our strength is how we get to the ball. So I'm looking for corners to match safeties, to match edge players in that way. Different skills, different tools, different responsibilities, but very similar in needing to own one of the 11 spots so the other 10 can depend on it.
Gay Jr. just seems to be a ball of energy.
Who?
Willie Gay Jr. just seems to be a ball of energy out there. What have been your initial thoughts of him so far? And based solely off of last year, was this the player that you were confident that you were going to get?
Well, he's been, I've played against him multiple times. But ever since he came to the building, first got a chance to talk to him, and then being on the team every day, we have I want to say, I don't know the exact number, but off the rip, there's some guys that are new guys that are establishing themselves within the team as core team people. And one thing you picked up on it, that dude is not faking that energy. And energy is a huge piece of how football teams play the game. And one of my favorite personality veteran additions that I can remember here, and I just love people that double down when they walk in the building. Okay, so Willie Gay, that's awesome. He brings himself, but he also brings energy from out of other people. The types of those are the types of people in the locker room that can be compass setters, and so I've been incredibly happy with having him here, and he makes himself present, and his teammates are aware of him every practice, even when he's not making plays. But his speed to the ball is real, and it's infectious and helping us capture the vision that we have of how we play football.
Mike, I'm sorry, not you, but I wanted to ask you about Tua. We got 6 days, no interceptions. Obviously, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it mastery of the offense, or is it just like, what do you correlate that with?
Yeah, I would say that. All right, so you have an evolution of, all right, how can he be elite at timing in with the primary, and then you're going through you're developing the offense by, all right, well, what if the primary is not there? How do we get completions and progressions? And that was kind of a focus last year. Were progressions and having non-premier play calls and still being able to get a ball to an eligible and advance in a productive fashion. I think what you're seeing now is a culmination of that, where he's taking it's his team. He knows it, and each and every day he is trying to dictate the terms by how he does his job. He has he's kind of found his specific cadence, not actual cadence, but his cadence for how he stays focused, locked in, while also being himself. His intensity each and every day has been very consistent, which players are responding to. He has because of that, I think the ownership and conviction of how he's playing the position is probably responsible for those for not having any interceptions. He's not being passive; he's being aggressive. But I think the culmination of deliberate practice over the hours and hours and hours of work. He's his ownership of the game and his position within the offense, I think, is evident every time we step out on the field.
Or heard from Kenny and Jonah talking about how they race into the building every single day, and Patrick Paul about how Jonah and he spent every day this offseason in the building. And it got me thinking about your comments back in March about setting your culture through the draft. I was hoping to get just a progress report update for you on how that's going.
The most important thing is you identify what you believe to be the people placed in the building that should be able to take advantage of the building while also being what the veterans here, just this, knowing the audience, that it wasn't going to be a time where they were going to really tolerate rookies that couldn't contribute to what they're trying to do now. And so what I've seen is the rookies understand that they're rookies, and they're not trivializing that. And they understand that I think the veterans are doing a good job of letting them know in as plain as day, hey, we need you guys now. So, whether we kind of knew going into the draft that we're going to have to target certain types of people that would be predisposed to be football first, to do the hard, long steps that have to be done in a rookie season to be able to be playing amongst the veterans. And I think collectively, I'm very, very happy with the class, because they are delivering on who we thought they were as people. And a lot of that, is will be tested in the next coming days, because they have no understanding of the immense, how much scheme they're responsible for based upon their previous lives. So installs today, install in the next coming days, we'll hopefully see them respond in the same way they've responded up until this point.
Coach, how do you balance your instincts as a competitor to push players hard with your responsibility to preserve long-term health and chemistry heading into the preseason slate?
Yeah, that's a bear. I think the energy and how we attack each rep, that's where I channel the competitiveness. Okay, and I think my obligation to knowing sports science and the planning, and then sitting there and recognizing the needs of the players. That is, it's as long as I start out practice, making sure the players know exactly where they need to be at as we push through the practice. My responsibilities are easy when I frame them the appropriate way. There's a lot of people depending on me not to do something ignorant in the face of competitiveness. I have to, fortunately for me, every day that I'm on the job, I'm in the mode of not reacting to emotion and making the decisions that everyone's depending on me to make. So it's not like a black and white answer every day, but it's a very important one that I don't take lightly, and try to do my best with it.
All right, guys. Key players you spoke about: Ashton Davis, Cater Cole, James Daniels, how the rookies are doing with the rest of the team, and they understand that they're rookies, but they understand their roles. That's basically the important key points that he spoke about. Cater Cole, like I said earlier, he's out for the season with an ACL tear. Ashton Davis, they still don't have a timetable as to when he'll return. James Daniels wants to be cleared, but he cleared up something. For James Daniels, cleared means he can go 100%, and as of right now, he's not fully cleared. But he's cleared to participate and do certain activities. Next person we're going to hear from today is the orange jersey of the day. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to guess who it was. Then I'm going to pop up the orange jersey, and then we'll go ahead and go to the next press conference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The orange jersey of the day number 7, the Penguin, Jalen Waddle. And then I'm going to pop up some highlights, like I said. But we're going to go to the next presser. That's Eric Ezugama, Easy E, or Eric E.
How's this camp going for you after, I know it's been a few years of being on and off and now trying to get back into things?
I feel like this camp's going good so far, just stacking every day, taking opportunities that I get and doing the most of it.
Last year, with the foot injury, how much do you feel like that set you back? Because you seem to be heating up at the end of camp, and then obviously the injury happened.
Oh yeah, so tough situation. I feel like my body wasn't really as callous as it should have been at the time. So, the wear and tear, it happens, you get injured. But, you always got to take it as an opportunity to come back stronger.
Where's the challenge of keeping the momentum going after training camp?
Say it again?
Where's the challenge in keeping the momentum going after training camp, after off-season practices? I feel like you start strong a lot.
Yeah.
How do you take that next step to carry that into the regular season?
Just taking care of my body, doing the little things right off the field, drinking a lot of water. I feel like it'll help me.
What's it like in the receiver room right now? Obviously, Wes is gone. What's the vibe in the room today?
Good vibes. Got a large group, a lot of young guys. So, just being a veteran in there and leading by example.
What do you think of your new wide receivers coach, Robert Prince?
Oh, Rob, he's dope, man. A really good teacher. I feel like he's helped me a lot. Understanding the playbook, breaking things down, making it more simple.
Eric, what do you feel you have to do to earn a roster spot and maybe carve out a role for you in this offense?
Just blocking. Blocking, I feel like we need a big guy to, do goon stuff and also making plays on the ball, making plays and being an impact player.
What have you seen from Tua this year after you've been with him for a few seasons now? Just what's new with him this year?
Tua, looks better every year, since I've been here, and I feel like it's going to be a big year for him.
All right, there quickly we heard from Easy E. Next person we're going to hear from, Elijah Campbell.
Now with Ashton down and Iffy sideline, how much do you look at this as an opportunity for yourself?
I see every day as an opportunity, man. Like whenever you're on that blade of grass, dude, you only get so many ops to be out there and play. So no matter what you do when you're on the field, no matter what position, whether you're in the second or third group, like it's an opportunity to show your skill. And I mean, it's sad what happened with all the injuries and all, but praise up for them. They'll be good, hopefully. And then I'm gonna just step in and do what I got to do. Like this is my job. I've been doing this, so there's no pressure or nothing. This is just another day out there on the field.
Gotcha. Ronaldo Hill was a big fan of yours. Then last year, Weaver was a big fan of yours. What do you think that you're doing to impress these defensive coaches?
Just work. The willingness to learn, too. Correct the mistakes that you do make in the learning process. So I think they just see me not make the same mistakes over again and see that I'm striving for greatness. And I mean, you have to ask them how they feel, but all I do is come out here and try to be my best self every day. So,
with Minka, what's trying to develop chemistry with him like? I mean, from a communication standpoint.
I mean, it's pretty easy, man. A guy with experience like that, like, he comes in and knows the playbook pretty well right away. So, like, it's not really a learning curve and he gets it right away. So it's easy to feed off of him. And obviously I've been in the system a little bit longer. So if there are any questions, which rarely he does have any questions because he's got experience, it's easy to just communicate and gel with him. So he's a cool dude, like, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge that he brings to the room. So I think it's pretty easy to be out there with him.
Obviously, you've made a career for yourself on special teams, but how important is it to get out there on a defensive standpoint and contribute?
Look, I look at myself as a DB, you know what I'm saying? So special teams, I take pride in that as well. You know, that's what's made my career. But first things first is I'm a DB, you know, on the roster. So I think it's just I've always been a DB. It's no other pressure. Just as much as I play special teams, I play defense, you know. So every time I go out there, it's no acclamation or anything because I've been playing DB every practice. I've got game reps playing DB, so it's not like anything big. You know, some people like to make a big deal about it, but we all out there playing the same position. You know, so we all got the same opportunities to learn from each other and be out there and strive for greatness. So it's like I don't think there's no pressure.
All right, guys, that's Elijah Campbell. Basically, they asked him about the opportunity now that Ashton Davis is down and now Cater Cole's down. I've always said Elijah Campbell has not been given a fair opportunity, so I'm glad he's going to get an opportunity. But I've also said that they need to get at least 1 to 2 veteran corners in the room now, especially that the injuries have been happening over the past 2 days. Next up, Quinn Ewers.
What went into the choice to come to the NFL?
Yeah, I felt like it was time to pursue my ultimate dream, like I was just talking about, and that's being an NFL quarterback and being an NFL player. Sure, I had opportunities to go continue on and play in college, but I feel like I was ready to take that next step, and I'm glad I did.
What's the experience like for you right now during camp? Is it trying to compete for that second QB spot, or are you still in that mode of just trying to get your feet wet within the NFL system and
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm still learning and, you know, trying to play my game at the end of the day and have fun doing it, because at the end of the day we're all blessed to be out here playing the sport that we grew up loving, and that, you know, it's been a journey for all of us, and for us to all meet here and have the same goal and compete for the same goal is super special.
How has your confidence level evolved since your arrival here?
Yeah, it's definitely gotten better for sure, no doubt. You know, obviously feeling healthy helps. And, you know, I feel like I'm playing faster each and every day. And, you know, I feel like with what's installed right now, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on that. And it's cool getting to see just day in and day out how much, whether I improve or how much I'm able to learn from my mistakes the earlier day or the prior day.
You mentioned feeling healthy. Were you dealing with something in the offseason?
I mean, yeah, there's always something going on with everybody out here. So, but, you know, right now, you know, not having to, you know, worry too much about, you know, I got to push myself to go be ready to play right away. You know, I don't have that in the back of my head, which is nice.
What have been some of the biggest challenges of making that jump to the NFL this season?
I would just say, like, the details and just the magnitude of the plays and how much every small detail matters, because obviously detail matters within Texas's playbook with Coach Sarkisian. But in the NFL, I feel like it's just another level, and just the multitude of different variations of plays that they have that match other plays. But at the end of the day, like, I love a challenge, and all these guys love challenges, so it's why we're here.
When what are coaches telling you out there on the field? Because it looks like you get more congratulations and gentle corrections as opposed to scolding. How has their reaction been to your play out there?
Yeah, no, I think it's been good. I think they do a great job on coaching how they want to coach. And, you know, the quarterback position is hard because I feel like all quarterbacks have, you know, big egos and whatnot. So they try not to damage it, I guess. But no, I mean, I'm cool with how they're coaching. I like it for sure.
You mentioned during rookie minicamp that you wanted to kind of take ownership of being a leader and lead the rookies out here. How do you feel like you've been able to kind of do that so far?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot doing that for sure. You know, it's being a quarterback, it's the shoes that we own and the shoes that we have to walk in. We have to walk and be a leader, and that goes for every quarterback in the room. And leading can look different. Obviously, Tua's way of leading is different than Zach's way of leading, and then Zach and Tua's is different than the way that I want to lead.
How do you want to lead?
I mean, right now, I just want to lead my group, and my group right now is the threes, and then those young guys.
What kind of things have you picked up from Tua and Zach on and off?
I mean, I think the way that Tua goes about his business, kind of learning what it takes to be an NFL quarterback and an NFL guy, and the same goes with Zach.
Only 11 days away from the first game. Do you feel like you're ready for that moment?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's where all the fun is finally getting out and getting to play other people rather than your own teammates, and you get to see some different defenses and defensive schemes and defensive players. But yeah, I feel good about it.
Basically, to ask Quinn, what's the difference between college and the NFL? Does he feel that he's prepared? Or what's the difference between him, Tua, Zach Wilson, and the leading styles between all three, and what he's learned so far in the NFL? And he said he had a NIL offer on the table to stay in Texas, but he decided to go to the NFL because he likes challenges. Next person, Quinn Bell, and he's the last person of the pressers.
What was it like to see that the Dolphins obviously had faith in you to bring you back?
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, in the end, this is where I wanted to be. This team gave me my first real opportunity to get significant snaps in this league, and so I feel like they're the team that deserved the best version of me. Being with Weave, second year in his system, I mean, this is just the best case situation and scenario for me. So this is where I wanted to be, and it was an unbelievable feeling knowing that they felt the same way. So.
How much of the camaraderie of the room in that edge group with you and all? I see you guys hanging out on Instagram and stuff. Like, how much does that play into it too?
Oh man, I mean, we've gotten so much closer this offseason than. I mean, it's my third year here, and I just feel like we're a family in that room. Yeah, I mean, those are my guys. So obviously, we have that much of a relationship with guys on the team, coaches as well. I mean, it's just, it's a family thing. You don't want to leave your family, so it's amazing.
How much does that closeness allow you guys to have difficult conversations when something isn't meeting a standard where you need it to be?
Oh, I mean, it makes it extremely easy. When we have a thing in our room where we hold each other accountable. If your brother's not doing his job or he can do it better, you got to get on him. There's a standard in our room that we have set, and all the guys understand it. And so when you have that camaraderie, man, it makes it not personal. We're all coming from a place of love. If I'm getting on you, it's for a reason because I want you to be great. So it helps out a lot.
What have you seen from Chubb? Obviously, he wasn't on the field last year, but what have you seen with him on the field now, being in guys' ears, all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, he's just locked in. He's more locked in than I've ever seen him. Trying to get back to his old self. Obviously, he's had a long grind to get back to where he is now, and I'm super proud of him. He's my brother, man, and I'm really excited for him and to see how he's going to grow along as the season goes. He's the hardest worker I know, man. And he's going to be great.
Could you describe that competition in that room, especially with everybody healthy right now, everybody trying to get snaps, the opportunities available there?
Yeah, I mean, this competition is real. Competition is real. We all understand it, and it's everyone's fighting for a spot. Everybody in the room, me, all the guys. So I mean, it's balls to the wall, man. It's everyone understands it's a competition. We're brothers, but we're all competing against each other, and I believe that gets the best out of everybody.
Coaching
So.
the one-on-ones, Patrick Paul looks like he's been pretty tough to get around. I'm curious what your guys' conversations like in terms of the scouting report. How can we beat this guy? Because he looks pretty good out there.
Oh yeah, Pat. I mean, night and day from last year. Pat's grown into a really good player, man. I'm excited that he's going to be starting for us this year. He's been great, man. We definitely having conversations in our room about the way he's shooting his hands, the way his body and things he's doing that nature. He's big, man. He's really big. So he's presenting a challenge for us each and every day, as we are to him. So I love the competition that we have. It's only making us better, for the regular season. So.
The guy next to him, does he look like a rookie?
I'm sorry, who?
The guy next to him.
Oh, Jonah? Oh, yeah, Big Jonah, man, Big Oos. I love Jonah, man. Jonah, again, man, I mean, from OTAs till now, he's grown so much as well, man. Huge guy. Super excited to see how he continues to grow in training camp and along in the season as well.
And you mentioned Chop before. What's the biggest observation you have of him, even off the field, or how he's preparing differently?
You said Chop?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I mean, Chop, man. Chop is, he's a different breed. He's a different breed. The way he moves, his get off, how low he runs to the ground, man. I mean, I see Chop having another breakout year. Just like he had a great year last year, but I think he's going to, take it to a whole nother level. His work ethic, the way he approaches practice every day, you wouldn't even thought he was a rookie last year. So I'm super proud of him and his growth.
Describe the feeling in the room, the reaction in the room when Mike gave you the news about Cater.
Oh man, I mean that one hurt. That one hurt. Cater is one of the hardest workers on this team. Consistent guy, comes into work every day, doesn't say much, and he does his job. extremely well. So that one hurt, man. But you know, he's our brother, and we got his back, and we're praying for him. And I know he'll come back. He'll come back better from this.
What do you think of the camp that Tua's having so far?
Oos, I think he's having a great camp, throwing dots. You know, he's making tough throws. That's even tougher for us to pick off, man. You know, so some of the throws he's making are just unbelievable. You know what I mean? We got guys in the right positions, but the ball's just a better ball. You know, good defense, better offense, man. So super proud of Oos and his growth, man. We need him this year, so that's my dog.
How does Jonah become Big Oos?
We got Oos, and then you got Big Oos. I think it speaks for itself. It was about double, maybe triple the size of regular Oos. You know what I mean? So that's all that is. That's all that is right there.
What's been the talk kind of in the room? Just because, I mean, from outside looking in, the edge rusher team is one of the most dominant groups, you know, on that field. So what are the conversations like between you guys about kind of taking on that mantle and kind of leading the charge?
You know, one thing in our room that we talk about is being the engine of our defense. You know, everything starts through us, whether we're setting the edge or we're getting to the quarterback. So we understand that we want to take on that role to lead this defense. You know, we got a bunch of leaders in our room and guys that can continue to grow their leadership. So, you know, we want to be the group, you know, that gets it started. You know what I mean? It starts with setting the edge. It starts with, you know, disrupting the quarterback. So we take on that challenge.
Last question, please.
How do you believe that you're on a similar system for a second year in a row?
I mean, it's everything. This is my first year in my career where I've been able to be in the same system for 2 years in a row. And it allows me to just go out there and just play fast. You know, I think last year coming in, you're worrying about learning the plays, learning the system, and now it's just worry about what the offense is doing because I know my job. You know, so I think it's honestly it's huge for my growth. Man, my confidence is at an all-time high. I'm able to just go out there, fly around, you know, and you know, just be comfortable. So,
guys, they asked him questions about the defense, about how he feels being in the second year of Weaver's system, about Cater Cole, about Tua, and about Big Oos and Little Oos, who's Little Oos, and why is Jonah Big Oos. That's basically what we've got. Like I've always said, Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, and Top Brass need to get more depth on the offensive line and the back end, plus the defensive line also. But now the cornerback room is in shambles, so they need more depth. They need to get at least one or two starting cornerbacks and more depth for the defense and offensive line. Leave me your thoughts down below of what you think of Day 7 training camp. And like always, stay positive, stay on your dining, go Dolphins.